Hey, footprinters. Hi, Uncover the News. Renee, Dugan, Sharon Sipe, Georgie Moon, hello. How's everyone? I've been watching the things that you've been posting, Uncover the News with the, well, it looks like I was half right when I said the Trump rally would be cancelled. The outdoor one's been cancelled by the looks of it, according to Uncover the News. Thank you very much for that. Not enough people in attendance. I don't know if they showed it in the US, but here in Australia, they showed inside the stadium with everyone in the crowds in the back, and they're all not as jammed together as they're still not doing social distancing, but they're only like about this far apart. Normally they're like this, and at the back, and the back is not full. There's still spaces at the top. And they're going, oh, it holds 19,000 people and they're expecting capacity. No, they're not. And down the front, there weren't that many people. Hi, Larry Girl. Hi, Robin Arvin, Connie Catmama, BMC. Hi, Annie S. Gmail 5, Kate Sweet Blue. Yeah, and down the front, there are only a couple of hundred people. So it's not going to get to capacity. If it was going to be to capacity, and that wasn't that far ahead of Trump coming on. That was only like 10, 15 minutes before Trump came on. So there's no way that stadium would have filled to capacity in 10 to 15 minutes. I think what was there was there. What pissed me off was seeing people, adults, bringing their kids and the kids not wearing masks. There was one person I saw wearing a mask, and if you're going to drag yourself and expose yourself, fine, but at least put masks on your kids, for Christ's sake. But anyway, didn't even, yeah, I got to, hello, Oklahoma, and turned it off. I thought I'd do something different today. You know, I use tarot a lot, and I'll still be using some tarot cards. But you know, there are a lot of other systems out there, and I have quite a few of them. I've got Kipper cards, I've got Lenormand, I have the key cards, I've got Sibylla cards. So I thought I'd have a look and do some of them today with the readings. Hi, Georgie Moon, Lucian, hello, how are you? Sharon Lee, hello. Yeah, so and I also got some tea cards, some tea with Karen, the starter deck. She had sold out, but then when I went and checked last week, she got more in, and paper got them in 3 days. But I'm in Australia, so they just had to come from Melbourne, and she put them in the express post. So, Kate Sweet Blue, hello. If I haven't said hello, hi, James Lee. So I thought we'd have a go at those as well, and use some of the cards that I don't use very often. So a bit of a different, you know, use some of the different systems, and maybe even do a couple of full readings with some of the oracle cards. Thinking of the enchanted map, which is always so descriptive. Hello, Bubba Girl. I don't know if you saw, I was just looking at the deck here that I was looking towards using, and I don't know if Bubba Girl came on the screen, but she's here. Hi, Deb Zed. Crazy Cat Lady, hello. Connie Brown, hello. I have been looking at the headlines, which I do, and looking at some of the things that have come up. And there's a couple of things. Is Barr distancing himself from Trump? Also, Jeffrey Berman, the US attorney in New York, is it? He's resigned. There was a bit of confusion over whether he resigned of his own volition or was forced to resign. Trump's denied it, but Barr said he pushed Berman to resign at Trump's request. And Trump has, of course, denied anything. So Berman was doing an investigation into Rudy Giuliani. So we're going to look at that, and also at the acting US attorney, which is Deputy US Attorney Audrey Strauss. Is she going to toe Barr's line or continue doing the work that her recently resigned boss is doing? Will Trump withdraw from the UN? He's been threatening to. Pompeo came out because the UN passed a resolution reinforcing that it frowns upon systemic police brutality everywhere, and also condemning police brutality in the US. And Pompeo said, and I quote, hang on, this is hilarious. Let's see. Pompeo said they should focus on systematic racial disparities in their member countries. Well, as of now, the US is still a member country of the UN. And this is the UN Human Rights Council. And the council passed a unanimous resolution on policing and race and called for a report on systemic racism. They also condemned police brutality in America. Now, as of now, the US is still a member country of the UN, so they're doing what he says they should do. But this reaffirms Trump's administration to withdraw from the organization. So will it happen? Will it happen? Let's have a look at that. Is he done with NATO? Hi, Eunice Ruffin. Hi, Debbie Fitzsimmons, Connie Catmama, Pamela Dixon. Hello. Welcome. Scott Allen, if you're watching, love it if you'd comment. You told me I could call you terrible, so I called you terrible, and then you're like, what's that about? Don't tell me I can do things, because I'll do them. If you're watching, Scott, I absolutely really enjoyed getting on the live the other day and watching you go live, so that was great. Who was arrested? Who was arrested? Connie Catmama has said, thanks. Why was she arrested? So thanks, Connie. So Connie Brown, did you say something about someone getting arrested? Because we've got the two Connies. That reminds me of the two Ronnies from England. So the two Connies. Who was arrested? Just finishing my coffee. 102 degrees. Wow. That's about what? 41, 42 degrees in Celsius? That's quite high. Oh, the two Ronnies, I love them too. I've been catching up on some because I grew up watching them, of course, being in Australia. English comedy was a big part of our lives. So Sheila Buck. Who's Sheila Buck? Is she someone? Everyone, I hope you had a really lovely Juneteenth. I did a oracle reading for Juneteenth, but I sort of, in my breaking it down, I thought, geez, I come off really, really preachy. And I thought, so I didn't post it. But basically, it's an opportunity to think about, even though things look a lot better, like a nice cover of snow, there's still underneath that covering of lovely pure snow, there's still a lot of dark, damp stuff that has to be addressed in order to make new beginnings and start a new day or a new era in the US and everywhere. In fact, that this systemic racism here in Australia, anywhere, you know, where this sort of stuff had gone on and shouldn't have. The Native Americans, even with Waitangi Day, I mean, the Treaty of Waitangi was really, really an amazing thing. And it was, rather than just invade, they came to a treaty with the Maori people in New Zealand. But even then, people still took advantage of the treaty and still cheated the Maori people out of a lot of stuff. Hi, Maori Martel. And also the other thing that the card read, and the third card, so it was Purity, which was the first card, and it spoke about the snow covering the dark and damp stuff and showing a glittering new world. But underneath it, there's still this dark and damp stuff. And then it had new beginnings, the dawn of a new day, the dawn of a new era. And the third card was taking risks, jumping off the edge of that cliff, having faith to take those risks, to take those leaps. Because in order for this thing to be done properly, for this new era to start, people have to be willing to have faith in others, put their trust in others, even though they haven't had much reason to for years and years and years, and take a leap of faith on both sides of the equation, or all sides of the equation. So that's what the three cards spoke about. But when I was going through it, I just came off so preachy. I really overthought it, you know, and I went off on this rant and stuff. So I thought, no, it's not. I didn't like it. I was offended, so I didn't post it. If in doubt, leave it out. That is my motto. If I say something that I think, oh my God, what the hell are you thinking? I won't post it. Georgie Moon, did you have an accident? Okay, the other thing. Oh, I came across another article. Trump and Xi are done with each other. So President Xi done and Trump are done with each other. So according to this, Donald Trump is not threatening cutting off China diplomatically, but to cut off China economically. President Trump recently said a complete decoupling from China remains on the US policy options. What Trump is saying, he's done talking to China. And by the way, President Xi, by not contradicting the president, is saying he's done with Donald Trump. The Chinese are waiting for the next election to see if they can deal with Joe Biden or somebody else, whoever gets elected. So I'm going to do a reading on that last bit. Are they waiting? Are they done with Trump? That is, they don't have to placate Donald Trump. They're sending a signal. They've got a new cutting edge here, and they don't have to deal with the United States. They don't have to deal with Trump. So I thought I'd look at that situation. Hello, Felicia Blackmore. Oh, thank you. I picked that up in China. Actually, I've got more and more crap, for want of a better word, building up on that table. I've got to clear it. But I picked that up in India last year. Yeah, so yeah, that was a very interesting place to visit. And I got that in Mumbai. The two Connies. Hi, James Lee. Anyway, so as I said earlier, I thought I might use some of the different other cards that I use. I haven't used them. I've used Kipper more than any other one, but I have Lenormand, I have Sibylla, and I've recently purchased the tea cards from Karen with tea, and I'm really looking forward to doing some more with that, and watching some more of her. Yeah, I just get the feeling that this rally is a dud. Of course, Trump will exaggerate the numbers and everything, but you know, it's a dud. Anyway, because I don't use a lot of these cards very often, I might be referring to the book sometimes, so please bear with me. But I just thought it'd be, I love the tarot cards, and my first love always will be. I thought it might be an interesting bit of a change. So I'll be showing you the cards and stuff that I'm using, and it might take me a little bit longer to get through things. Look, the arena isn't even half full. You know, it's not even, it wasn't even half full from what I saw. There was no way that was anywhere near. There was maybe 2,000, maybe. They might not show it in the US, but they showed it here in Australia. And I will, yeah. Hello, AQ. Yeah, I just thought I'd do a few different systems today as well. So, so bear in mind that I might refer to the books a little bit, but I haven't used these nearly enough. So she had a woman. Oh, there was a woman who had a ticket and got arrested. What? Because she was wearing a Black Lives Matter T-shirt. Yeah. Yeah. She got a ticket and got arrested. Is that Sheila Buck? Teresa. Hello, Teresa. Teresa Judy. Hello. Oh yeah, he'll fib. And look, they will only put out. Oh, gotta clean off my screen there. They will only put out pictures of the crowd behind him. But the thing is, they've got a stepway going up right behind him. That's void. That's a void, so people can't sit there. And they show people on the other side, and you can clearly see that there's a lot less people than there usually is in that back crowd, because there's more space between people than there usually is. So they took her for mental evaluation to keep her from talking to the press. She'll have her day. She'll have her day in front of the camera. Anyway, so the Jeffrey Berman resignation. Was Trump behind it? Radical protesters attempted to scare away the crowds. I don't think so. I really don't think so. He's already been interviewed twice on MSNBC. I'll be looking forward to seeing that. So anyway, let's have a look. Jeffrey Berman, resignation. Did Trump intervene and force him to resign? So La Costanza. I'll have to look up. These are in Italian, so my Italian is La Fedeltà. This is Fidelity. My Italian's pretty minor, even though I grew up around them. Speranza. So we'll do those three first. This is got, of course, several languages. Got to find my way through. Find my way through all the languages. I'm up to German. Hang on. I think the English one is first. They just have the Italian name for it. Nope. Oh dear. So come on. Here it is. It's right at the front. I went right through the book twice, and it's all at the front in English. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I crack me up. Okay, so La Costanza is the tenor clubs, lightness, sensitivity, tact, but on the reverse side is irritability. So they think they're dealing with it tactfully. He's resigned, but he's not happy about it. I think, or have I got that wrong? Bear with me, everyone. I'm getting another crash course in Italian. La Costanza. Let's see if I can find it. I was looking at Talita on card, I'm sure of it. If you disgrazia, I know what that means. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's have it. Oh, here it is. Perseverance. Immutable perseverance. That's what La Costanza is. It's not cheerfulness or tactfulness, it's perseverance. Wow. Constancy. Yeah, here it is. Perseverance and immutability. So this is hearts. Okay. Right. Heart. So this is he was persevering. He was continuing. Even though they tried to get him to stop, he was continuing with his investigation into Giuliani, and I'm going to look at that as well. The Delta, which is fidelity, I think. Yeah, Nine of Hearts, faithfulness. Yeah, that is, and he was faithful. He was faithful to the letter of the law. Devotion, loyalty, and friendship. He was devoted. He's devoted to the letter of the law. So he wasn't going to let anyone tell him what to do. Okay. 8. Okay. And the 8 of Hearts. So all 3 of these are hearts. And the 8 of Hearts, hope, wait, dream, apprehension. He was causing apprehension with Trump. He was causing Trump quite a bit of apprehension with this ongoing investigation. Okay, so that's the first 3 cards on this. Bear with me, and yes, I've been meaning to have a look at Epstein. Maybe might have a little look at that. But first, I haven't finished with this yet. So we've done the first line. He kept persevering with his investigation, and he is, he stands for the law. Okay, he's faithful to the law, and he was causing a lot of apprehension. Trump to feel a lot of apprehension about what he'd discover. So we've got F6, P4, and P6. So C's heart. What's F? Di Fiore. So that's clubs, I think. 6 of clubs. Comforting surprise, partial success, less than expected success. So this is the 9 of clubs, and it's constant surprise. Okay, and it means less success than expected. So that's why he kept digging, I think, because he wasn't getting. No, I think Trump's move is not going to be as successful as he expected, because I think he thinks that Audrey Strauss is just going to kowtow and bow to him. I don't think she is. She's going to persevere as well, because this is underneath perseverance. Okay, now Amato, P6 or P4 Amato, which is illness, I think. Amalato, Picky, yeah. Yep. Four of Spades is a sick person, health problems, and uncertain seriousness. So, yeah, they're looking at, this is Giuliani. He's not well. He's not well. Not that I feel particularly sorry for him, but he's not. So, yeah. And P6, Suspiri, which is Spades. Longings, desires, memories, nostalgia, regrets. Oh, regrets, nostalgia. They're looking way, way back. They are looking way, way back. And this one is underneath the one for apprehension. So they are looking way, way back. Okay. So now I've got these sorted out. This is P. F. C. And whatever the last one is, which is Q, I think. Anyway, or D. Q or D. Anyway, so that's the second line. And if we were to look diagonally, we've got faithfulness. They're looking at the actions that Giuliani took in the past out of faithfulness to Trump. Okay, so we've got Q, which is diamonds, F, which is clubs, and C, which is letterato. Oh, a letter. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's have a look here. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and please bear with me because I haven't used these cards as much as I should. So it's taken me a few minutes to get it sorted. Melancholia. Well, that's melancholy. The US, he kept persevering. Berman kept persevering. And they tried in the past to tame him or to suppress him, but they haven't succeeded. And now they've caused him to feel a bit melancholia, which is melancholy, 5, sadness and depression. Okay, so he's not happy. He's pretty down about having to step aside, feeling forced to have stepped aside. But also, we've got an interesting story diagonally here. Speranza, which is apprehension. Amalato, which is actually making Trump feel a little bit sick. And he's feeling a little bit depressed about it. And also, same with Giuliani. Giuliani's feeling down and depressed as well. But Trump is, well, no, Trump's not depressed. Trump isn't the type to get depressed because of his personality type. He's not even the type to get sad. So this is the effect all this has had on Rudy Giuliani, increasing his apprehension, making him sicker and causing him depression. Poor Giuliani. I'd like to say I'm sorry, but hello, Anne H. Next came up was F12, Giovanni Fanciulla. So I'll look that up. As I said, my Italian was always pretty basic and not that it's a clubs. Clubs 12 is Queen of Clubs. A young girl, attraction towards a young woman. Oh, so this is coming out. this has come out as part of the investigation, where it's Giuliani or Giuliani helped cover something to do with Epstein, attraction towards a young woman, Epstein. Giuliani has ties with Epstein. Letterato, well, that's pretty self-explanatory, a letter. So, creativity, invention, discovery. Okay, so they've discovered quite a bit. This goes way back. They've been looking way, way back. And has caused Trump a lot of apprehension. It hasn't helped Giuliani with his illness. They haven't been as successful as they'd like in the past in suppressing this guy, but they finally managed to get him out of the way. Yeah. So what I might do today is I might use a small tarot deck to do some clarification on these. Okay, so got the so the story I've gotten is discovery. Yeah, poor old Rudy's in the middle of this, and which makes sense. But because this guy would not give up, he was a bulldog. They haven't been as successful. They found things about attraction to young women. They've looked right into the past. I mean, they're investigating Giuliani. So they've looked right into his past and his relationship with Trump as well as part of that. There's something about young girls here, attraction to young girls. There's discovery, a letter, there's a document as well. There's something in writing as well. And it is making Giuliani sick. Now, I asked if Trump was trying to, was behind this, and I still get the idea. I still get, yes, I still get that. Yes, he is, because of the apprehension that this is caused, because the more they dig up on Giuliani, the more they're going to come across stuff by Trump, stuff about Trump, because they're that closely entwined. So there's stuff in writing. There's stuff in writing. Giuliani is basically, he thinks the stuff he should have shredded years ago, and he didn't, because he never thought he'd get caught. Everybody loved him. He was America's mayor. He was the man who brought down the mob. Well, he brought down that mob so another mob could come in. He didn't do it for the good of New York. He did it so that other people could come in and take over. It's interesting. This is a fisherman, and he's hauling in his catch, and there's this bag of coins in it. Success, success. They thought they'd gotten away with it, but they hadn't. Money, hauling in money. They've been hauling in money from dubious sources. It's like somebody's hidden it in the lake for them to find, I'm looking at the pictures here too now. Giuliani's feeling very sorry for himself. He's ill. I don't know if he'll even make it to trial. We haven't heard much from him, so I'm going to have a look at Giuliani. There's stuff in writing, and Trump's really, really crapping his pants about what they're going to find, which is why he's tried to suppress it, hasn't quite succeeded. And if you think that Trump in the end is going to have any fidelity to faith, going to be faithful to Giuliani, well, Giuliani's in for a rude shock there. Yeah, this is going to cost him everything. I don't think even his family's going to want to know him at the end of this. So that's why, yes, I do think Trump has played a role in this. Second hand, who will rid me of this turbulent priest type? So basically told Trump to get rid of this guy. Told Barr to get rid of this guy. And Barr's saying, I did it on Trump's instruction. So, and why? Because he's apprehensive about what's going to come out, because they're looking so far back. And there's stuff in writing, and it includes stuff about girls. Stuff in writing, honestly. Really, there's stuff in writing about girls. Trump's apprehensive because they're going to look back that far and they're going to find this stuff that's in writing. They're going to look back far and find stuff about girls. So, yeah. So that's what I'm finding there. So I'll just use the little tarot to just ask a yes-no question. Did Trump intervene? Was Trump behind his resignation? Was Trump behind his resignation? Was Trump behind Berman's resignation? One. Knight of Wands is a yes. Page of Swords is a yes. Page of Wands is a yes. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, one of the biggest reasons behind it, they'd found some people were talking to them. There were a couple of whistleblowers there. These both represent whistleblowers, the Knave of Swords and the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords, both with messages, one about thoughts, deeds, paperwork, papers possibly, actions. And this is the investigators. The investigators were talking to people about things. So yes, he did. How big of an impact will Mary Trump's book have? Let's have a look. I'm going to use the Sibylla again. It's interesting because they paint this whole story. It doesn't just answer yes or no. It says why, which all cards do. They paint a picture of the story behind the question. I was watching Cash Peters last night. Who is so funny and so joyful to watch. And if you haven't logged in yet, Celtic Witch, Sheila Celtic Witch the other day did her first live. So congratulations, Sheila. Love you, honey. Yeah, I've got to sit down and watch it. And then she did a live with Marie from Marie's Table. So I'll be sitting down to watch both of those. The whistleblowers from GOP testifying in Congress on Wednesday. Wow. Let's have a look. Well, I'm going to use the Lenormand cards here. These are the ones with writing on them. So, will the whistleblowers from the DOJ be testifying in Congress on Wednesday? Gentlemen, A man tried and true, held in high regard, he tells fortunes for you. Clouds shining bright. Commitment. They made a commitment to do it. We've got clouds. This is the gentleman. I think this is Barr. And the clouds, the dark clouds are closest to this gentleman. So that means that he'd not got good things coming away. These people gave a commitment to testify, and they intend to follow that commitment. Yes, that's a positive card. Clover is a positive card. Well, I'm just doing 5 cards on this dog. They're faithful. They're loyal to the DOJ, not to Trump, not to Barr. They're loyal to the commitment that they made when they took on those jobs, and so yes, I get yes that they're going to do that. They are going to testify. So I hope you guys are enjoying just a trip with a few different cards. Like I said, if I want yes, no clarifications, I'll just use the little purple and gold tarots for that. Hi, sweet 68p. Now, we'll go back to the Sibylla. Mary Trump's book. What impact is that going to have on Trump? Yeah. I'll have a look at that. Supreme Court case, will that anger Trump? Court SCOTUS tax case. Anger Trump. What their decision? I'll have a look at that too, but yeah, thumbs up, everyone, if you'd like, if you could. Mary Trump's book, what impact will it have on Donald Trump? Lost goods due to a robbery, fraud, etc. He's gonna try and make her out to be a bad character, fraudulent. He's gonna be really angry. Inability to act constraint. He's not going to be able to do anything about it. There's going to be some of the younger family members are just going to be really happy and celebrate. Not, of course, Trump's children, but maybe children of the other siblings. You don't hear much about them. I certainly think it's going to cause celebration in some of the younger Trump family members, meaning like contemporaries of Mary. Mary's a bit older because Mary and Fred certainly, and maybe some of the children of the other siblings. Constrained. Trump is going to try and have it blocked, constrained. This is prison, constrained. He's certainly going to try and say that it's fraudulent and she's a fraud. She's a clinical psychologist, I believe. Birth or growth of the project is going to lead, the book's going to lead to a birth or growth of a project. I wonder what that's all about. I think there might be follow-on books. That's Bambino. P3 El Verdovo, which is a widower, lonely and sad man bound to his past. It's going to paint Trump as a pretty pathetic figure, I think. And he's going to be feeling alone, because I think a lot of what comes out in this book is going to isolate a lot of people from him. They're not going to want to know him. So it could also be the birth of movement away from Trump by people who they're doctor. Just a doctor, professional who can solve a physician, lawyer, or the like, who can solve a problem. He's going to get the lawyers onto it and try to stop her from doing it. Sacrilege. How dare she? How dare she? Let's see. P1. Worry. It's going to cause, he's going to be worrying. He's going to be worried about the stuff that comes out in this book. He's worrying about it. He really is. He's worrying about it. Relationship with the police. He might even try and have her arrested. I don't think that'll happen. He might try and have her indicted or something. I don't know, on some charge. He'll be so furious, because he'll see it as a betrayal of him. In, you know, priest, man of faith, spiritual guide, psychologist. Yeah. So this is the second one. This is her. This is her. She's going to be, he's going to do everything he can to make her feel isolated and alone. He's going to try and paint her as a fraud. He's going to try and stop the book being published. And he may even try and indict her. And he'd really, really want to get her indicted on something. But I'll tell you, the younger members of the family, they are cheering. And I'm not talking about Trump's children here. I'm talking about other nieces and nephews, or even great nieces and nephews. Mary's 55. So, you know, and Elizabeth's children, if she has any, they'd be older as well. So they could have grown kids as well. And, you know, if there's going to be at least Mary and Fred the third's family, her brother Fred's family, there's going to be a lot of cheering and rejoicing and support. You're going to provide Mary with a lot of support. And I think some of her other cousins as well. And there's a lot of Trump out there who we haven't heard of because they don't want to be known. They don't want to have anything to do with it. And I think they'll be like, yoo-hoo, good one. Stick it in Uncle Donald. But yeah, he might even try and have her arrested. He's that furious. He's sick with worry, but also I think he's also worried that this is only the start of maybe she might do another book, or one of his other nieces or nephews might come out with a book. He's really worrying about that. So he's going to try and isolate her, make her feel isolated and alone within the family, but I don't think that's going to work. So he's not a happy chappy, and he's worried sick about how it's going to make him look. Oh, he did it. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Page of Cups. The Tower. It's really going to have an effect on him. I'm just doing a bit more clarify. 9 of Cups. Yeah. It's going to cause a Tower moment. It's going to really disrupt it and undermine Trump. This is Trump. It's going to undermine him, and it's going to be a lot of surprisingly emotional bits in that book that are going to just cause a lot of emotion. I do think it was a cleansing exercise for her more than anything else. She's not going to turn down the money, but she didn't write it for the money, you know. So, yeah. Oh, look, like I said, there's 3 other siblings beside Trump. There's Marianne, there's Elizabeth, and there's Robert. They all had kids of their own. And I don't know much about any of them. I've never heard much about any of those other kids. And I think that might be for good reason. Like a lot of them, some of them, yeah, they'll go along and support Uncle Trump. But I think there's more of them that don't. Yeah. He is going to try and make life hard for her. Like I said, he might even try and have her indicted or arrested. Never knows what for. Thanks for bearing with me. Like I said, I don't use these cards as often as I should, so I'm really enjoying getting them out and using them. So what else is on here to look at? Oh. Will the deputy U.S. attorney in New York, Audrey Strauss, will she back down on the investigation to Rudy Giuliani? I'll do 5 cards on that. Whitby! Whitby! Again, I'm still using these Italian cards. What you doing, Whitby? Good boy. You telling them who's boss? Yes, you are, aren't you? Mummy loves you. There we go. Hi, Sheila. How you going, my love? You good? J-Cat lady. Oh, it finally ended, didn't it? Oh. Oh, can she? That's all right. I've got the book here. I figured out what's what. So I know a little bit of Italian. Anyway, I'll do 5 cards on Audrey Strauss. Is she going to continue being a bull? Is she going to be a bulldog? Disgrazia, ammalato, illness, Mitio, the doctor again. Amore, love, la amica, which is amicable, friend. Okay. Yeah, nobody. Yeah, misfortune. 7 of spades, misfortune. Very serious and destructive event. Illness. Friend. Doctor, professional. Amore. Which of course is love. Passion that arises or flourishes again. Very serious and destructive events. Health problems of uncertain seriousness. To friend. Confident guest, relationship of trust. This is illness, can also mean deterioration. This is the professional. This is Audrey. Renewed passion. She's not going to back off. There's something written about something really destructive, something that could basically be a big tower with Giuliani, really just destroy him completely. It's led to a deterioration of trust in him, and she can't ignore it. Like a doctor can't ignore a sick person, a person who does first do no harm, and a US state attorney would be looking at the same thing. To just leave this go would be doing harm, so she cannot do that. She cannot, just like a doctor can't ignore a sick person. A US attorney cannot ignore what has come out of this investigation into Giuliani. And amore, love, but it also stands for renewed passion. So she's going to go into it with a great deal of passion. She's going for it. She's going to be a bulldog with this investigation. She's not going to sit back and let it. And I think she can see that, you know, she just can't ignore the rot that's set in. Hi, Alchemist. Really got to use these cards more often. Catcher. Who's Catcher? Hello, Catcher Brown. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. Welcome to the live chat. Hi, Cappy's mum. Don't worry. You know, I'm not upset if people come late to the party. That's just, hello, Dana Weeks. I haven't seen you before, so welcome. Thank you for joining us. Don't worry if you've come in a bit late. That doesn't bother me. I'm not going to be insulted. I might sometimes go, look at me, look at me. There's lots of chatting going on and all that, but you know, that's just a bit of fun. Yeah, I know that you guys are watching and looking and all that as well and listening. You better be. You're getting a bad chill. Oh, the Trump cultist, yeah. Melania's divorce. What's this? Oh, she's going to get a divorce. Yeah, that's going to happen. Oh, yeah, definitely. Those kids, they're not our fault. They're innocent. Please, please, please send healing and protective energy to the kids that were taken by their parents to that rally and not protective as they should have been. Okay? Your parents, if they get sick, they deserve it, but their children don't. You know? What did I say again? I said to send loving and healing energy to the little kids who were taken to the rally and not protected, who parents didn't put masks on them, and yeah, and healing energy to them. Children should always be protected. Yeah, I might do a grand tableau. I might do a kipper one with that, because I'm a lot more used to doing that. I might do a grand tableau today. Really enjoying it. I might hop on a little bit longer too, not too much longer, maybe 2.5 hours, but we'll see. Okay, let's have a look. Is Barr distancing himself from Trump? We've been asking that for a while, haven't we? So it seems like he is and he isn't. Not as much as he'd like to. Hi, Linda B. Shelby Lisa, hello. A stately house, the White House, bestows stability. Oh, the fox. The fox, wily, manipulative, sly, evade deception, and beware of old traps. The ship. Ship journey, distance. Ship takes you a distance away. I'm looking at this as a sign that yes, he is. He's being very sly about it, but a little bit of a disagreement here, or a little bit of contradictory statement there. He's being sly about it, but he is distancing himself from the White House. But he's being very sly and subtle about it. The fox doesn't do things it doesn't charge in like a bull in a china shop. Very subtle. The ship, a journey, taking you some distance away. The ship is pointing towards the fox, indicating that it's the fox that is taking the journey, distancing himself from the White House. The fox is facing away from the house. the fox is distancing himself from the White House. Yeah, he's looking for a new start. This is the flowers. Happiness in you from the flowers scent. He's looking to get away from the stink. That is the White House. He's looking to distance himself from the stink that is the White House. Oh, the coffin. This is end of a relationship. Yeah, he definitely wants to cut ties. The fox definitely wants to cut ties with the White House. The Tower. Institutions. Weakness may come. When troubles surround, weakness may come. Problems that are bound you must overcome. So, you know, he's got to do it in such a way that he still appears strong, but he's weak. He's also weak. His health. This is his health, I think. When trouble abounds, weakness may come. I think this is his health. This is one of the reasons why he's doing this. Ground your strength. That is pure. That is pure. Confident and secure. So he's not feeling secure. I think he feels that Trump could turn on him any second. And it's also his health. His health is up the crapper. Luck, a good deal of luck is going to be involved in if he can do this or not. The tree. The tree is stability. It long term. If it's close to the querent, and the querent here is the fox, which is Barr. Your goal is near, but it's separated by the coffin. So no, I don't think he's going to complete. I don't think he's going to be able to separate himself completely in time. He's distancing himself, and he wants to get away. Ooh, he's going to take some receipts with him. This is the key evidence. He's going to take some stuff with him. He's going to blackmail his way out. Or try to blackmail his way out. Either way, his relationship with the White House is going to be dead, a goner. He's sly. So he knows he has to sort of stand his ground, as you would with the Tower. He's had to stand his ground with Trump. But he's not well, and he's finding it harder and harder to do. Yeah. Yeah, the tree is also, it's because it's separated from the fox, which is Barr, by the coffin. He's got to look out for his health. So I just double checked here. The tree, when it's not close, it means his health. So we've got two things here that are indicating that his health is suffering. The tree and being, separated from the fox by a coffin, and the Tower. He's been standing secure, but things are coming, and his health is undermining his fight. He wants to get away from the stink. He really does. And he's taken receipts with him. So yeah, he's taking evidence with him. This journey away is going to completely end his relationship with the White House. He's going to be lucky if he escapes the stink from that relationship. And I don't think he's going to. He's going to be lucky if his health holds out. But the flowers is a good card to have, and the clover is a good card to have. Luck. So he might escape some of the stink, but he'll be lucky if he does escape all of it. I don't think he's going to, because again, the clover card is not close to him. Yeah, he's not going to have luck. Yeah, he's not going to have a lot of luck. This is because it's separated from the fox, which is Barr. He's not going to have a lot of luck with things. He's going to find it hard. He's not going to have a lot of luck distancing himself. He's trying to, but he's not really going to be able to. It's just going to be the end of everything for him. His career, his position of influence, even his family life, I think. There's been rumours for a long time that his wife is not happy that he even took up the position, and yeah, and he wants to get out. He's got receipts. He's going to take stuff with him, or destroy stuff, or maybe hang on to stuff. That's interesting. Hope you guys are enjoying this, looking at different decks. Like I said, I haven't looked at them nearly as much as I should. So please bear with me and be patient. Hi, Marjorie, Lara. Lovely to see you. Dana Weeks, hello. I think I said hello before. Shelby, Lisa. Hello, Karen Hardinge. That's fine. That's fine, Karen. Oh, you've got the snake. Oh, I'm terrified of snakes. So sometimes if I get an unexpected picture of a snake, I post it on my page or anything like that, I freak. I will be shaking and crying sometimes if it's a nasty picture. So I always know that there's a snake in the Lenormand cards, and I always prepare myself for it. So I don't jump. What's this about Russian tanks? Oh. Will there be a confrontation between the Trump cult and protesters at the rally? I'll just do a quick tarot on that one. Will there be a confrontation between the Trump cult and protesters at the rally? Yes. No. Yes. Well, it was bound to happen. Yes. Oh, that's maybe. Yes. And yes. Maybe. No. Yes, there will be. There will be. Something's going to come out during it. Somebody's going to say something that lets slip a secret of some sort. Or something's going to happen. Yeah, there will be. Maybe some people might even end up being arrested because there's quite a few swords in that. So, yeah. Okay, what am I looking at next? Oh, will Trump withdraw from the UN? I'm going to try the Tea with Karen cards for this. So, again, I only received these the other day. I've had a look through them and I've read some of the books and looked at the cards. So this will be the first proper reading I've done with them. Yeah, cancelled the outdoor rally. Oh, dear. Okay. Will Trump withdraw from the UN? Withdraw the US from the UN? Time out. This is the tent. Time out. Casual, isolating, temporary situation. The camel. So that's the tent. The camel. Perseverance ensures success, endurance. That's a positive. Negatives, heavy, laden, long and difficult journey. So that's the camel. And the negatives with the tent are casual, isolating, temporary situation. Okay. Treasure chest. Positives, money, wealth, valuable inheritance, hidden assets, negatives, greed. The chair. Positives, comfort, time for a break. Negatives, loneliness, abandonment, emptiness. I'm doing 5 cards. Hello. The bat, positives, intelligent, highly skilled, good problem solver. Negatives, false friends, disappointment. Okay. I think he will, but I think it's only going to be a temporary thing because the relationship between the UN and the United States is a long-standing and enduring one. They understand that this situation will not continue. It's only going to be a temporary situation. They won't formally cancel it. Trump can say he's withdrawn and they'll say, yeah, well, okay, but they won't take steps to formally cancel it. The treasure chest, money, wealth, valuable inheritance, hidden assets, negatives, greed. So the camel is pointing towards the tent. So this long and enduring relationship is going to ensure that it's only a temporary cut from the UN. The treasure chest, this isn't about using, the UN not being able to do its job or whatever. This is about greed. Trump wants that money for something else. And this is pointing away from the camel. Now, the chair. Positives, comfort, time for a break. Negatives, loneliness, abandonment, emptiness. This represents the US chair in the UN. So the chair that would normally be taken up by the UN ambassador. It's going to be empty for a while because of Trump's greed. Okay? And it's pointing away from the treasure chest. Treasure chest. But the last card I have here is a bat. Positives, intelligent, highly skilled, good problem solver. Negatives, false friends, disappointment. Now, this is pointing towards the chair. This is saying to me that this chair is going to be filled again. It's going to be filled by someone who is intelligent, really, really highly skilled for the position, will be able to work to resolve this issue. Yeah, it's not going to be negative. It is going to be filled again. Basically, Trump is going to say, we're withdrawing from the UN, and the UN are going, yeah, sure. But they're not going to take any formal proceedings for that. They will reopen talks with the next administration because they know this is just going to be a temporary situation. Here, comfort, time for a break. Again, indicating a temporary break with the UN. So yeah, he's certainly going to try, and probably says, yeah, we're doing it, but whether it really comes to anything, it's just a temporary withdrawal more than anything. So that's my reading using the wonderful, this is the Learner Deck key cards from Karen, Key with Karen, available on ESTY. Of course, it takes longer to get overseas. I've got them in 3 days. If he hired actors for tonight's rally, okay, I'll use the T deck again for this one. Did Trump hire people for tonight's rally? Yes. Did Trump hire people for the rally? Dragon, positives, irrational fears, strength, stamina. Protective, negatives, danger, fearful, sudden changes. That's the dragon card. Tornado, positives, quick acting, new beginnings, clears up debris. Negatives, arguments, losses, mayhem, turbulence. The ring, positives, commitment, cycle, union, valuable. Negatives, going around and around in circles, bound. It's interesting, we've got 2 cards going towards the right and 2 cards going towards the left. The mouse, positives, resourceful, hard worker, sharp senses, social. Negatives, losses, feeling, anxiety, small stresses. Really had he's got this irrational fear of not having enough people there. So he decided he was going to strengthen things. So yes, this is an indicator that he did. This harks back to that question, would there be clashes between the true believers, Trump's true believers, because not everyone there was an actor. and protesters. And I think this is the tornado. It could be a bit of a mayhem happening. Commitment, yes, some people made a commitment to go there. Yeah, they were bound to, in a negative sense. They made the commitment to go there. They didn't, but they really didn't want to, but they were bound because they'd already been paid and they had to go. They didn't want to. So this is facing towards the other two cards, towards the dragon and the tornado. That's where the arrow is there. The mouse, resourceful, hard worker, sharp sense of social. Negatives, losses, feelings, anxiety, and small stresses. Trump is really going to feel really anxious about the small numbers, but resourceful. Yeah, he used his resources. Yeah, he did hire actors. We'll do one more card on that. The Tower, positives, career card, good fortune, promotion, success. Negatives, loneliness, isolation. Yeah, he's not happy with how many people turned out tonight. He's really feeling isolated. He's going to lie about it, but he's not happy. I would say that probably a good 75% of that crowd were paid to be there. I would say there was probably only a couple of hundred true believers there. And the true believers, the actors are just going to get out of there. They don't want to know. They did what they were paid to do and they want to get out, but the true believers are going to cause problems. No, Trump is never happy. Okay. Trump is always saying he's done with China, but you know what? He's lying because he's scared of China and he's scared that the United States cannot function without agreements with China. So that's all bullshit. The trade war, everything, he's scared. He's not pushing it as much as he could have because he knows that, you know, the US at this moment can't really do without China. If China cuts them off completely, they're done. Sorry, guys, that's what I feel. So Trump isn't done with China, but is Xi done with Trump? I think I might do a Kipper grand tableau on that. Okay. I have bought this gorgeous set of Kipper cards by Ciro Marchetti, but I haven't really gone through them yet. There's a couple more than in the Enchanted one, or the Mystical Kipper, and they're beautiful, but they're a bit larger and some of the headings are a bit different. So I'm not quite ready to use them for a grand tableau. But the little mystical ones, which... Sheila, are you still there? Sheila from Celtic Witch, are you still there, my love? Can't find it. Never mind. That's all right. Okay. I said love, I said doll, and anyone who's Australian who grew up in the 80s and early 90s and watched the Fast Forward with the wonderful Magda Sabansky will know exactly the character I'm talking about there. This woman who was chain smoke and talking over coffee, and she'll go, I said love, I said doll. Oh yeah, the paid crowds are gone. So if there's more protesters than crowds, it's because it's only the true believers who are staying to confront the protesters. The paid ones are gone. Okay, so I'm going to do a grand tableau on Z and Trump. Hi, Bonnie Russell. Well, you know, 6 of his campaign workers have tested positive for the virus. Yeah, I know. She goes to bed early. Yeah. That's all right. Well, she gets up very early too, so. This is Sheila. Sheila does go to bed early. She gets up very early too, so, you know. So it would be well past her bedtime by now. So anyway, so let's have a look, shall we, at what is the situation between me and Trump. Is he done with him? I am so sorry, guys. I accidentally shut down the window. The broadcast didn't stop, but I shut down the window. No, we didn't knock the cord out, and Cameo did not knock the camera off the front, off the top of the thing again. That was me. I was moving the mouse pad, and I accidentally and the mouse, and I accidentally closed down the window. Okay, so. Hi, Alexis Long. Thank you for joining us. I would have thought nothing could be as bad as Cameo knocking the camera off the other week. Did a lot of swearing, did he? Ah, well, of course I'm back. I wouldn't leave you guys in the lurch. Anyway, I'm going to do a Kipper Grand Tableau on President Z and whether he is through with Trump. And also we'll ask in that Grand Tableau, is he just waiting Trump out so he can deal with Biden or whoever gets elected? His thoughts, rich girl, which is upside down, so that's tempering a long way. Good lady, that is upside down as well. Great happiness is upside down. He's not happy. Theft, court person. 6, 7, 8. A false person, upside down. Bereavement, upside down. More bereavement. You know that they've had fresh outbreaks in Beijing of coronavirus, so I think he's really not really worrying too much about the US at this moment. But we'll see. He hasn't come up yet. Success in love, upside, right side up. Receiving a gift is upside down. Pleasant letter is right side up. Short illness is right side up. Military person, right side up. Marriage card, that's commitment, and that's upside down. Expectation is upside down. Gloomy thoughts, facing bereavement, upside down. Main person, this is Z. He's at the end of the second line, and he's directly under bereavement and gloomy thoughts. So it indicates here so far that he is actually more worried about the second outbreak of coronavirus in Beijing, bereavement, of course, of loss, than about false person. The false person is above here, and he's upside down, so not really having an impact on Z at the moment. I think that might be Trump. Main person 2, the lady, really down the other end. Meetings, prison, a little child, good gentleman, a journey. All these are right side up so far. Unexpected money, gaining a lot of money, and that is upside down. High honours, upside down. Living room is upside down. Grief and adversity is right side up. Sad news, right side up. Work occupation is upside down. Court is upside down. House is right side up. A change is right side up. Big hope, big water is upside down. And rich good gentleman is right side up. But I get, hang on a moment. The feeling I get from this is Z has never really regarded Trump as a valid president. He knows that he cheated. And the false person here is Trump. Okay? So I'm just going to see if I can lower the camera. So you guys can see more of this. Okay? So you guys can see some of the decks. Okay, so we've got up the top here, we've got bereavement, and I'm starting from this way because this is where he currently is. This is where Z is. This is Trump, the false person, and he's upside down. He's a no in, and he's a false person because he's not valid. Trump, Z knows he cheated, but Z has got his back to the false person and is looking elsewhere. He's more worried about his country. People are dying again in his country. There's gloomy thoughts, which the clouds, the dark clouds for the gloomy thoughts, and directly next to Z. So he's dealing with a bad situation in his own country. Having to shut down Beijing. There's losses here, monetary losses. They haven't really suffered monetary losses from the US, but they are suffering losses from having to deal with this second breakdown. The high honours are upside down, so this is not anything to do with politics and high up people. He is looking at people who are high up in the government who he feels has failed. He's more worried about dealing with them. Down the bottom here we have the rich good gentleman. He's looking towards somebody else to help with this situation. Okay. Now, Z's all the way over here. The false person, his country is losing money, but but a change is coming. So this was down here. This is Z, diagonal here, and then on the diagonal down here, this is a change. So a change is coming. It's not as big a change as he hopes, but maybe it's not the change he hopes. But it's a move forward. And Rich Good Gentleman is a tempering card. So while it's not the change he's hoping for, in that they can deal with this outbreak as quickly as they hoped, they're still going to be able to deal with it pretty well, but just not as quickly as they hope. So he's more concerned with the outbreak at the moment. The false person is next to a court, and next to that is theft. So let's move things along a bit. Okay, so we've got the false person who is trying to burden Z, and he's not having any of it. The false person, there's also a bit of a loss of money because look, China has lost some money from the bad trades with the US, from the US doing Trump's trade war, but not really enough to make that much of a difference. So they've lost a lot of money, but it's being offset from somewhere else, this unexpected money. So that money loss is being offset from somewhere else. They're just making deals with other people. So they lost more than they expected. This is the gaining a lot of money card, but it's being offset by deals with somebody else. The Rich Good Gentleman down here is offsetting it, and unexpected money from somewhere else is offsetting it. There's also a change with regard to the money. Now, the false person is just acting as expected to, bullying and bluffing his way. He did not keep to commitments that he made. Okay? There was expectations of commitments being met, and the false person is not doing that. Okay? Theft. This is, I think, theft of... And there's going to be a judgment against the false person. This is the court card. There's going to be a judgment against the false person because of the commitments he made. But these commitments were not good. They were with a good gentleman. But they weren't good commitments because this is upside down. Bad commitments with somebody who's a good gentleman who has military might. This is Putin. So we've got she here. Somebody's going to be stripped of their honours. I think he's not happy with how that this outbreak has come back, because it's also going to cost them money, but that's going to be offset. It's going to be a journey too. The false person is expected to take a journey, caught upside down. So this is not good for the false person. Direct diagonal line down to there. It's not a good judgment. The judgment of the court is going to go against the house, the White House. Work occupations upside down. So the White House is going to undergo a change as well. Not as big, so maybe it's not going to be the complete whitewash that people thought. It might be a little bit closer, but it's still not going to be close enough, because this is going to be a new person to help them. This is Biden. So this all ends with Biden. Biden offsetting some of the losses as well. This is Biden. Also, Putin's helping offset some of the losses that China had. Yeah, he's waiting out for Biden to get in. The main person here too is a lady. I think this might be over here. Sorry, guys. The main person here is a lady, and she's looking back, but she's looking back towards Z, so that they'd be like, she's on the start of the next line, so if she was next to him, they'd be facing each other. See that? They'd be facing each other. I think the next Secretary of State might be a woman, and she's going to be setting up meetings with Z. Trying to redress this isolationist position that Trump has put the US in. It's not all going to be good news. There's going to have to be a lot of hard work done. It's going to be some grief involved and some adversity. The living room is a comfortable place, a place of time, but it's also one of the two kipper cards that indicate time. Private domain. So there's going to be carrying on some meetings in private. So this new Secretary of State, there's going to be success. The thoughts his thoughts that are upside down, they're going to be working to change Z's mind on a lot of things. A rich girl, it's not going to be as successful as they hoped at first, but there's a long journey to go. But you know, his thoughts are a bit gloomy, but this is directly underneath. There's success in love, so there's going to be some success. The gloomy thoughts are going to be tempered to some extent, not as much as you would hope. They're going to make small breakthroughs. So this is receiving a gift, which is one of those good cards that temper bad effects, but it is reversed. So it's not going to be as large a breakthrough as they would hope. But it's just the start. There will be new agreements, pleasant letters, short illness. Look, America still has to deal with COVID, which is great happiness is upside down. America's still dealing with COVID. There might be a little bit of flexing of the military muscle. This could be the South China Sea situation. They're not going to be able to resolve that. The fact is like China, you know, building these islands in the South China Sea, these artificial islands. So that situation is pretty much in the centre here of a lot of things, and also some agreement with Russia that they have. So it's not an entirely happy situation. Great happiness here. And there might be some judgments in the international court. But there is going to be a change in the White House. It's not going to be the complete whitewash. Everyone helps. There are still going to be some Republican strongholds that hang on. But it'll be, I mean, it's not going to be. Scott was predicting 67 Senate votes, Democratic senators. I'm not too sure. I think there might be a couple of independents in there. So they're not, I don't think they're going to get the complete sweep that they wanted of the Senate, of the 67 seats. But Biden is still going to get in, and he's going to replace the person who turned the high honour of the office upside down, which is Trump. Trump and his gloom and doom outlook on the rest of the world, turn this high office upside down. Biden is going to get in. They're going to be able to, the relationship is going to be shored up, but it's going to take some time. There's still this isolation in the prison. America, well, Trump has painted America into a corner here. So it's, yeah, so it's made it hard, self-made trap. So Trump's just painted America into a corner. They are going to have to retreat on some things in order to get gains on others. There is going to be some grief and adversity for America, but the meetings are going to go well. It's the living room is reversed, so it's going to take some time for the two parties to feel comfortable with each other again, as comfortable as they did in the past, as comfortable as that was. They're going to have to work at it, but not everything that they work on together is going to succeed. There are some things they won't be able to come to agreement on or won't be able to work on together. There's sad news and grief and adversity. The sad news is tempered by a little child, innocence, birth of something new, military, and theft. So I don't think that America is going to be able to force China out of the South China Sea. I think that's going to be a cause of grief for that area, for that region, for quite a while. And that region includes Australia. The South China Sea is not very far from Australia. So there is quite a long journey to go still. The good lady is upside down. She's great happiness is upside down. Very important person. So this is generally a positive card. Old wisdom. I think a lot of experienced people experienced with dealing with China are going to be put to the wayside. They're not going to be happy about it. They're going to feel like they've been brushed aside. I think that maybe a lot of the old ways in which America dealt with China just cannot apply anymore. And in using these old ways of dealing with the old wisdom, it could cause some hiccups or a short illness in the relationship and unhappiness in the relationship and another stint of isolation. So it's not going to be Biden gets in, everything's going to be happy again with China. It's not. It's still going to be rocky. There's still going to be a lot of work to do. has to deal with China's ties to Russia. But as far as Trump is concerned, these just not even going to bother. I'll deal with the next administration. At the moment, I've got too much to deal with my people are starting to die from this virus again. So, yeah, it's not all going to be happy, happy, joy, joy when Biden gets in. They are going to make progress. Some of the relationships in some areas are going to be re-established and possibly made even stronger. They'll have a long way to go. Some areas they're not going to make progress, especially with the military build-up in the South China Sea. There's a lot around that. There's a lot around this. This is the military person. Okay. You've got a new start, child theft, stealing territory. People aren't happy about it. It goes against the wisdom. Yeah, a lot of things, I get this now. It's not that these old ways of doing things are going to be just discarded. A lot of things that are happening goes against wise judgment. It's going to cause a rift, but the pleasant leather next to that means it's not going to be as big as big. Marriage card, China made some commitments and they're not keeping to it. But these commitments, Russia as well, and there's a journey, ships and a journey. Okay, in the previous days, America would send in warships. There's a rethinking on that wisdom. Is that the way to go? The White House, there's going to be a journey, between the White House with these commitments to deal with the theft. The White House, it's going to take time. It's not something that's going to be resolved easily. So there you go, my darlings. That is my grand tableau on is Z shutting the door on Trump and waiting for the next administration. Yes, he is. There's going to be healing on some fronts, not healing on others, continued tension on others. So, hi, Edna May. We've got a little bit longer yet. I think I'll stay on a little bit longer today. Is there anything that you guys want me to read on a fun subject? Something that, a fun subject you guys would like me to read on? What will come of Hillary's email stuff? I've just got the words passing through my head, storm in a teacup. It's nothing. It's nothing. Hey, J-Cat lady. Wow, you lived in Guam. It's a beautiful place. I think maybe we can do a fun reading on somebody. So let's have a look at what else is there. Celebrity news. Let's look at some celebrity news. Are we at a turning point in this pandemic? I'll do a quick reading on that. Rapper Hurricane Chris arrested for murder in Louisiana. Okay, right. Let's see. Are you at a turning point for the pandemic? Grief and adversity. You've been suffering grief and adversity. You've been painted into a corner by Trump and his isolationist thing, and he's not acting properly. There's a main person here, a woman, high honours. You've lost a lot of money. The false person is still there. That's Trump. That's Trump. Court person, theft, short illness. Gaining a lot of money is upside down, so that's still losing a lot of money. The false person is still causing trouble. False person in a high position has caused loss of money. Theft of life here, caught. Short illness. Maybe you might have turned a corner, but it's still not over yet. Military person, success in love, pleasant letter. Yeah, I think you may have turned a corner. Military person is diagonal from false person and prison. Wow. Short illness, military. I think this could be going to the military as well. Hi, Linda Sandoval. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome. I'm going a little bit longer today. But yeah. Did Trump ask China to help him get re-elected? I'll ask that. I'll just do a quick one with the purple and gold tarot for that one. Did Trump ask China to help him get re-elected? Ace of Pentacles. Oh, yes, he even asked to see if they could get some money to him, possibly through Elaine Chow. The Chariot, yes, he did ask for them to help him win. Two of Cups, he tried to establish a relationship. Four of Pentacles, so he could cling on to power. So maybe the Four of Pentacles. The world, the world's watching and they're just like, what the? Yeah, he tried to get it so he could continue with his legacy of hate. Building his legacy. Hangman. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, tried to manipulate the situation. He tried to get money out of them too. Probably through Elaine Chow. Wands, Page of Wands. Yeah, someone is going to come out and confirm that. There's going to be a whistleblower confirming what John Bolton said. China don't want him there. They want to throw him under a bus. Yeah, he did. He did. Does Trump glue his toupee on? Oh my goodness, let's see. Let's see. Does Trump glue his toupee on? James, what have you done? Why are you a swine? Does Trump glue his toupee on. Doesn't have implants. No, he doesn't have implants. He may have at one time, but does Trump glue his toupee on? King of Pentacles, that's a yes. Three of Wands is a yes. Page of Cups is a yes. Yeah, he does. Does he have false teeth? Does Trump have false teeth? Well, it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of people that age do. Oh, Ian Holm. Oh, God bless the man. Wonderful actor. Died recently. Does Trump have false teeth? Yes. Well, maybe. Maybe. No. Two maybes do outweigh a no. He's trying to cling on to the fantasy. But, yeah, someone's going to come out and confirm that too. Yeah, he does. Oh, my goodness me. What else can we look at? Hi, T-Barb, if you're here. Does he wear depends? Okay. The toupee and teeth are one thing, but I think that's getting a little bit cruel. I don't really, I'm not really big. I know there's lots of jokes going around on if he wears depend. If he does, he does. You know, so I won't read on that particular one. The toupee and the teeth, lots of men have toupees and lots of men have false teeth, but I'm not going to go there with the depends. That's, yeah. I don't even want to think about the color of that man's backside. Thank you. Will Trump get another TV show? Yeah, I'm not even going to look at the color of Trump's ass. No way. Will Trump get another TV show? He's certainly trying to get one, but it's a maybe. Maybe he's certainly trying to juggle a deal to get one. He's talking with people, but it's all very much a maybe. Maybe he's trying to wrangle one, but whether it happens or not is very much up in the air. So, yeah, you got a lot of maybe cards there. Who's doing what to readers, Linda? I always put up the entertainment purposes only thing because, you know, I don't want to be cut off like 4 minutes in. One of the first lives I did got cut off 4 minutes in. I didn't realise. But after that, up goes the entertainment only thing every time. What's with his nose? I don't know. Well, if he's been sniffing drugs, it could be a result of that. What's with Trump's nose? Have a look at Trump. Four of Wands, what's with his nose? King of Cups, overindulgence. White House, state of confusion, 7 of Cups. King of Cups, overindulgence. It's worse, overindulgence. 4 of Wands. White House, 9 of Wands. He's being defensive about it. 5 of Swords, abuse. Not necessarily abuse of power in this case. 8 of Swords, he's trapped. He's bound. I think it's damage, physical damage from addiction. 2 of Swords, Judgment. It was bound to happen. You know, we've seen it happen before. Kate Moss's nose apparently had a lot of damage from it when she was addicted to cocaine. Well, when she was at her worst with cocaine. And yeah, report you. So I think it's physical damage from, if he is indeed, from him allegedly snorting things. It's physical damage. Those things can, you know, in order to keep them alert in the White House. But yeah, overindulgence, causing a state of confusion for him. Yeah, physical damage. Almost, yes, the summer solstice up there, the winter solstice here. How about, I said I'd do an oracle card reading. How about I have a look at what the solstices, summer up there, winter here, are going to bring? What are the solstices going to bring? Oh, yes, look, I got my tarot dog, my dog tarot card, which is great. We can do some readings on pets. I am going to do a special, get me to 1,000, get me to it. Get me to 1,000 subscribers, guys, and I will do a 1.5 hour special reading on pets. Okay? Because I've got the dog one, I've got the tarot card, and I've got a general animal one as well. So let's have a look. The Enchanted Map. I love, this is my very favourite oracle deck, the Enchanted Map by Colette Barron Reed. So let's have a look. So I'm at 970 something at the moment. When I get to 1,000, hour and a half. I did find the dog tarot, yes. So let's have a look at what the solstices, the summer solstice and the winter solstice, both of them combined for the world, what are they going to bring? So I think we'll do the summer solstice first. Summer solstice, Northern Hemisphere. What's it going to bring? For those of you who want a mountain, for those of you who want to know what time zone I'm in, I am in GMT +8, which is the Perth, Beijing time zone. Okay, same time zone as Beijing. Ah, the UN tribunal. I'll have to leave that, I think, for a bit. Might do that after this reading. But first we're looking at the summer solstice. What's it going to bring for the Northern Hemisphere? So, magical map shifter. wishing well, unexpected visitors, clear out. No. Follow the leader, dry desert, rock bottom. Well, for a lot of people in the northern hemisphere with this virus ravaging countries, it may have felt like just the country's hit rock bottom. Your country has hit rock bottom, whether it's the US or the UK. Okay. So got 4 up the top, which is the message for the future, and the 3. What's at the basis of how people are feeling at the moment? Okay, that's the way I'm reading this. So the 3 bottom ones are following the leader. The leaders of the Northern Hemisphere, Trump especially, Johnson to an extent, and some others, not all of them, they have not dealt with this pandemic properly. But people have had no choice but to follow them. Learn from the mistakes that these leaders have made, not just with dealing from the coronavirus, but with dealing with people. Anyway, lead by example. Okay, people who led by example have gotten along better with this. But this, we're looking at the situation at the moment with the bottom 3 cards. The dry desert. It might seem that there's not a lot of hope in the future, but remember that a desert is never really dry and it's never really lifeless. There is so much going on beneath the surface, whether it's underground rivers, whether it's buried animals, whether it's oasis that suddenly come out of nowhere. You've been feeling let down by your leaders. You've been feeling like there's nothing there for you. And you've hit rock bottom. There's nowhere else to go. And if you've hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go. That's up. Now the mountain might seem like a huge blockage. But the new solstice, with this, the main message of the mountain card is that you can move around obstacles. The new solstice gives you new hope of being able to move around the obstacles. Just ignore them. You keep moving around them. They're not going to stop you. They're not that big that they can stop you from doing, overcome those obstacles, whether it's voter suppression in the US or bad management of viruses elsewhere, or an economy that's not as good as it was. In England, you guys went through the Blitz. You went through rationing after World War II, and not because of the war, but because of bad weather. It took out your wheat and your potatoes and all that. You just had to go through rationing and all that. You dealt with it. You got around the obstacles. You can do that again in the UK. In the US, go around, deal with the voter suppression. Just deal with it. Go out and vote regardless of how they try and stop you from doing it. Get your vote in. Magical map shifter. Haven't looked at these cards for a while, so You know, I've got lots and lots of decks, so I can't remember everyone. Spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. Comes with a mission. The new summer solstice. Along with it comes a new mission to move your country forward in whatever way you can. Go around those obstacles to move your country forward. Okay? The wishing well. Desire is sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Clinging on to the past is not going to make your wishes come true in the future. If you want your wishes to come true in the future, you have to go to the well. The well's not going to come to you. If you want to get rid of a bad government, you have to go vote. And this, again, is a message that's being brought forward by the new solstice. If you want to help your economy, you're not going to help your economy by sitting in your home and not spending money. Even if you spend online, spend in companies that, like if you're in England and your economy is suffering, and even if you're spending online, use spend at British companies, you know, and British stores and all that. They all have online ordering now and stuff. You can use that. If you're elsewhere in the Northern Hemisphere, the same thing. Help your economy by, you know, if you can't go out and sit in cafes, go out at least and grab a takeaway, because most of them still have takeaways and things like that. So spend when you can, and when you can, spend in your own countries. Okay? Unexpected visitors. Unexpected visitors. That doesn't always bode well, the unexpected visitor card, but it's not always a bad thing either. Now, if you expect the unexpected, you will be prepared for miracles. So, things might not always go the way you expect, but that doesn't mean they're going to go bad. Now, remember I had, when I was reading on the Grand Tableau, and the indications were that the US might not have the big blue whitewash, as big of a blue whitewash as expected. So you might not get the blue tidal wave wiping out every Republican or whatever that you expect. But what you will get will be what you need. Okay? So you might not get 67 Senate seats, but you might get 63, 64, and then there might be a few independents that you can sway to your side. So, you know, if you're in the US, don't worry if it's not quite what you expected. Okay? You know, you can still work with what you get. If you're elsewhere, your economy might not be able to bounce back as quick as you expected, or you might cop another wave of illness that you weren't expecting. But the authorities will know better in how to deal with things and be better prepared for that, because they're expecting a wave that might not happen, but if it does, they're prepared for it. You know what I mean? So that's the summer solstice for the Northern Hemisphere. Now I'm going to look down south, down in our hemisphere. Okay. So I hope that you got something out of that, and what summer solstice is going to bring the Northern Hemisphere in the next few months. What is it going to bring? What is the winter solstice going to bring to the Southern Hemisphere, to the South Americas, to Australia, and Southeast Asia, and Africa? What is it going to bring to us? So, oops. Well, we got come together. That flew out of the deck. That one did. Oh, it's flipping. Follow the leader. We've got to follow the leader too. That flipped. We got dry desert too. We got unexpected visitors in exactly the same place as you did. Now, underneath it all, storm fields, coming apart, ghostlands. Wow. So we got 3 of the same cards that you did in the Northern Hemisphere. Follow the leader is in the top line. So it's at what the winter solstice can tell us. We got dry desert. That's in the top line as well. And unexpected visitors is in the top line. Our bottom line is storm fields, coming apart, and ghostlands. So let's have a look. So this is for like Australia, South America, Southeast Asia, New Zealand, Africa, the African continent. So storm fields. This too shall pass. Okay. We're going through, we've had some uptakes, some upkicks in the virus in the eastern states. This is going to pass. We will get through this. Okay. In Australia. In Africa, it will pass. Southeast Asia, this will pass. This storm with the virus will pass. It will. South America, but you know, in doing so, in the storm passing over us, in some areas it's going to do a lot of damage. Brazil is really suffering, you know, so that's to a certain extent Brazil's going to be ravaged by it. Any other country that's not able to put the resources to it that like Australia or New Zealand has been able to, any other countries that aren't able to have those resources to put towards it and who just have no choice but to let it run its course, there's going to be a lot of damage. There's going to be some countries that do come apart, and this is what we're dealing with now. This is at the base of what's led up to where we are now. This is the virus. It really has torn countries apart. Not so much in Australia with us, but, you know, our economy suffered as well. Now it's time to take separate paths. So, in Australia, we've always taken a separate path in dealing with this virus. We were one of the first countries to declare the pandemic conditions in Australia, a good 2 weeks before who did. So we've always followed our own path in dealing with it. And other countries who have done that too have dealt with it better than those who have not followed the best path, who've gone down a different path, who didn't declare early, who didn't get themselves ready early. We still could have gotten ready earlier, but not really, because we were kept up to date with what was going on from pretty much the middle of February onwards with what was going on. So when they did declare the pandemic, they had been working for weeks towards doing that. But yeah, so different countries have taken different paths, but we've all had different consequences. Our economy hasn't gotten off scot-free. You know, it's probably going to take a good at least 5 years for our economy to just recover, if not more. Okay, so ghostlands is the next one on the bottom. So the foundation of where we are, ghostlands. You can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. We can't run away from where we are. The ghost of our actions are here around us, and we have to deal with them. We have to deal with them before we can move on. So whatever we've done wrong in dealing with this virus, no matter what country you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you have to deal with that before you can move on as a country. So that's where we are. What does this come together? Countries in the Southern Hemisphere, we have to start talking to each other more and dealing with each other more, establishing more trade deals and more maybe tourism deals and things like that for the future. The winter solstice is telling us that it's time to us to start talking to other countries in the Southern Hemisphere, Chile, Argentina, Peru, Brazil, all of the South Americas, the Southeast Asians, more talks with those, with people we've been doing trading with for a long time. New Guinea, the South Pacific Island nations, Indonesia, Africa, doing more in Africa. We have to start come together, all of us doing deals with each other to head down a different path. This is follow the leader. I think there's going to be a strong leader coming out of this. Possibly more than one. I don't want to sound boastful when I say that Australia is a good candidate for that. As a country, we are the only hemispherical geopolitical power in the Southern Hemisphere. Everyone else is either regional or local. But that doesn't mean we're the only leader. So following the leader, whoever sets the best path towards recovery, we would be, or the other countries would be wise to follow their lead. So that's, and in coming together and talking to each other, this could be follow the leader. The leader could be like a new group. Like we established the national cabinet here now through the coronavirus and did away with whatever it was that was there before. It wasn't working. I can't remember what it was. COAG, Coalition of Australian Government. It wasn't working. So we've done away with that, and the national cabinet's been established, and it's working a lot better. So maybe looking at what we did in Australia, I know that several African nations have come together to talk together and deal with certain things in a similar manner. So finding, maybe this isn't one specific government, but maybe it's a model that a government has come up with that is working well and others want to adopt. So look at adopting models that work well. We've got to look at adopting models. Again, just because it looks dry doesn't mean it's not. There's a lot going on underneath that is going to lead to new growth, new flourishes, new sources, new resources. There's a lot of resources in the desert. You just have to find them. So I think we've got to head out and try and find new resources, new trading partners possibly. We have Australia here. We are having a bit of a few issues with China, so perhaps we might have to go out and look for new trading partners, go out into that desert and dig and find new resources. Again, what is the future going to bring? Well, it's still a bit cloudy at the moment with the economies the way they are and trading partners, but by shoring up different trade deals with different people, and maybe bringing more manufacturing back to their own countries, internal manufacturing, so that they don't have to rely so much on an external source for things. We can be more prepared for when the unexpected happens. For instance, if Australia is unexpectedly, China just cuts off all ties, by doing these things we're more prepared for what happens if that happens. If Trump decides they're gonna kick Australia out of the Five Eyes, well, we can be prepared for that. Okay, you want to kick us out of the Five Eyes, we're going to kick you out of Darwin and kick you out of Pine Gap. I certainly hope that doesn't happen, but it's just those things. So again, it's the biggest message for both hemispheres is be prepared. Don't be complacent. Be prepared. Unexpected things can and probably will still happen. So be prepared for that. But also look at different ways of doing things and look at alternatives. Anyway, that is the solstices. Now, what was that question somebody asked a while back about Trump? Oh, yeah. I'll do this one last reading. I'll just use the tarot cards for that. Is Trump going to be held accountable in any by the UN for crimes against humanity? Is the UN going to hold Trump, not the US, but Trump, accountable for crimes against humanity? Let's have a look. Again, I'm just going to use the little purple card, and then I'm going to have to go. Okay, my darlings? So, is Trump going to be held accountable by the UN or charged by the UN for crimes against humanity? Wonderful that Malala has graduated. Don't know who Malala is. She's that very brave young woman who, when she was 13, was advocating education for girls, and they shot her in the face. The Taliban tried to kill her and shot her in the face. She's graduated, and absolutely wonderful. Is the UN going to hold Trump? Page of Cups, emotional news. Three of Pentacles, working together, working in a group. The Hermit, he's certainly going to be feeling isolated. That's a maybe. It's a yes. Two yeses. Five of Swords, that's a no, but it's also abuse of power. Eight of Swords is a no, but it's also painted into a corner. It's legal. Two of Swords is a maybe. Overall, it looks like, yes, he is going to be called upon by the US, but probably not while he's in office, by the UN to answer for crimes against humanity. His abuse of power and locking children in cages. So, yeah, he might be. They might call him. He won't go because he won't think he's done anything wrong. But they will, I think, come up with some resolution condemning him in a big way. Anyway, look, my darlings, I'm going to go now. So I loved having a bit of extra time with you. But, yeah, I do have other things I've got to do. So I'm going to leave. And please, everyone, look after yourselves. And, yeah. And I will probably see you Wednesday. Okay? Bye-bye.